It's Anime Death Spiral.
Oh, wait, hold on.
God damn it. You can't do that to me. You can't do that to me. I had a whole...
Okay, go.
I had the engines going. I was revving. No, it's ruined now. It's ruined. Let's just... Can we just
Go
start?
ahead.
No,
You got to do it. No.
The moment is ruined.
I'm demanding that you do it. I'm putting my foot down. You have to do it.
I swear to God, if you step on my toe one more time, I'm going to lose it. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Anime Death Spiral, the only anime podcast entirely in Danish. That's right. If you're listening to this right now and you understand us, then you speak Danish. And so do we. So congratulations. There.
Yes,
that's
I'm saying hello in Danish to the Danes.
Yep.
Danskjavol. Oh wait, no, that's bad.
No. Just say hello, and then if they hear you say the word hello, it'll be in Danish, but their brain interprets it like they're hearing it in English. That's how learning a second language works.
Yes, like the Babelfish.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, this episode not brought to you by Babbel app. We've been messaging them, still no reply. So hopefully that'll work out in the future. But
yes,
for the time being, stay the fuck away from Babbel app. They suck. Fuck them.
And like we say on the show, 42. Yes, one of our favorite references for the show.
Are you doing the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy thing? Is that what you're doing? I don't really read books.
Yes,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Babelfish.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Babelfish.
Isn't that a Terry Gilliam book?
What? Hitchhiker's Guide? Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't make the movie. I gotta say, even though I did not like that movie.
I thought it was okay. Martin Freeman's fine. Right. It's fine.
He's okay. I don't know.
Who is the robot?
Sam Rockwell is obviously great.
Yeah, well, I love my boy Sam Rockwell and everything. Going all the way back to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was his first movie role,
No, I did not know. That's very weird.
Yeah, it is super weird. He plays like a random 80s skater punk dude who's like one of the street thugs that works for Shredder. He just pops up at this weird kung fu bonfire that the ninjas are holding to plan their evil plot in front of all of their minions.
Kung fu bonfire.
Yeah, and Sam Rockwell just kind of pops into frame holding a pizza. He's like, "Whoa, being an evil ninja's radical, dude!" And then that's it. That's his entire presence in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie.
And I bet he rocked it.
Yeah, he rocked it well.
I wonder if they gave him a cameo in that most recent one, the Seth Rogen animated one that I actually really liked. Thought it was pretty good.
I remember you mentioning you liked it. I don't know. It was
good.
It would be cool if they did. Maybe he's ashamed of his Teenage Mutant past.
I think that dude will do whatever. I don't think he gives a shit.
Well, he was in an Iron Man movie.
Well, that was still early. That was still when people were kind of gambling on the project. He was in the second one, right?
Yeah. He played the bad guy in the second one. Well, the real bad guy, which is corporate America. Am I right?
It's true. So we unfortunately yet again, I still really wanted to just go long on child soldiers. I really want to do that at some point, but I've got stuff I want to talk about. So we have to stop the banter because I have stuff I have to get through.
Yes.
And that's also why we have to put child soldiers on the back burner again.
Sorry.
Even though it is one of my favorite anime topics ever.
He really does.
We will get to it.
You cannot put an anime in front of him and you won't talk about child soldiers. It's kind of a thing.
The Narusasukura is my favorite anime unifying theory, and the child soldier is my favorite political contention.
Well, okay. No, I should save these questions for when we really have time to get into it.
Yeah.
But listener, I want you to noodle on this When does a child soldier become a child cop? Think about that one for a while.
It's called the Imperial Boomerang.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of this.
No, the Imperial Boomerang is when fascism is when imperialism is turned inward.
Yes, absolutely. But don't say that yet. Don't say that yet. Save it. Because I have to get to this thing that I've been sitting on forever because I watched it when it came out and I still haven't talked about it. And it's like a big thing. I don't know how to even... When it comes to One Piece, I mean, I know it's all big, but like, you know, Netflix coming out and doing all these like spin-off projects is a signal of intent, right?
Yeah, well, it's very obvious that they are promoting their big, expensive One Piece live action show that they're very invested in at this point, as much as Netflix appears to be invested in any of their original properties. And they are trying to produce, you know, because Netflix is really, they're just a publisher. They're not making all of this stuff besides the live action show. They are doing that one. But all of the One Piece stuff that they've been doing to kind of like tie in and promote that, to bring attention to it, that's all stuff that just kind of exists that they're pulling in as a publisher. That said, you know, I'm not against it. I personally still have not. I've not clicked with One Piece yet in myself. I see the appeal for other people.
You still haven't tried.
You keep saying
haven't even tried.
Okay, all right. We don't have to get into that now, but I see the appeal for other people, and I think more One Piece the better, right? Was what I was trying to get at with all of this Netflix stuff. I like that they're doing all of this. I hope that it incentivizes them to bring in more like anime, not series, but like weird OVA stuff.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of One Piece trash, a lot of really bad stuff that I do not care for, especially when it comes to like you know, people losing their mind over like One Piece Red recently, right? And I just like look at that and I'm like, this is the most plug and play. It's not even that it's bad. It's just like so much One Piece is just plug and play, you know? It's like, here, you slot these characters into this story. Great, cool. Yeah, like great, more One Piece. Throw it on the pile.
Well, that's pretty true for every big franchise, you know. There is like a formula for the type of kind of in between movies, like the non-canon like movie stuff that they do for Naruto and Bleach and One Piece and all these. Like you could find patterns that cross these series and all of these would start to look like the same in structure, is my theory.
I think the difference is like it's One Piece. This is the you know, as big as anything else gets. It's not One Piece. This is fucking One Piece.
I guess. I don't know. I think maybe you're putting it on a pedestal, which is a wild thing to say about One Piece because it's already way up there.
What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm saying that maybe like instead of it being One Piece, maybe it's just One Piece, you know? It's just One Piece.
Well, I will take the opportunity to again say like if you haven't, the Baron Omatsuri One Piece movie is genuinely fantastic. Even if you don't like One Piece, it is just an incredible piece of work. It's like beautifully animated. It's like a weird kind of like strange bottle fantasy story with like great beats. It feels completely unique to the One Piece anime canon as well. Like it's just really, really great. It's like super early on before we kind of landed on what all One Piece movies should be, and it was directed by Mamoru Hosoda, so like it's just a weird cultural artifact. It's just really great. This for the last One Piece day, which by again, like how many fucking anime properties have a day, you know? I think it's like this and Dragon Quest are the only ones who have like bank holidays.
I am positive. I am 100% positive that there's a Dragon Ball Day in Latin America somewhere.
I don't know. Bring it to my attention if you find it. Anyway, for this year's One Piece Day, to do another, you'll remember the last year, I think it was last year or the year before, they did One Piece fan letters, which was a really sweet kind of little story off to the side. It didn't really involve any of our main cast. But maybe in an act of intense foresight, it does end with a little Nami cameo, which is interesting because this One Piece Day, they decided to adapt a story from the One Piece Heroines light novel series, which is a series of short stories about the women of One Piece. Because frankly, they get the short end of the stick a lot of time. Yeah, no,
that's a criticism that I've heard of One Piece over the years is that maybe Oda has a little bit of an issue not prioritizing the narratives of his female cast. So I think that this sounds cool. This sounds like a cool way to explore these characters more in depth of what it means to be a female character in the world of One Piece and how they interact with each other. Like, I'm sure they do like a really thoughtful, introspective kind of like internal look at that dynamic for them, right?
One would hope, one would certainly hope that that's the case for sure. That would be interesting if it was. I haven't read the light novels, so honestly, giving it full grace, maybe that's in there. These light novels are written by Jun Isaka, who wrote one of my favorite manga called She is Beautiful, like super bizarre sci-fi story, sort of based on like House of the Scorpion, if you remember that. You ever read that?
I haven't, no.
Oh,
I don't know how to read.
That fucked up so many kids. You knew how to read back in elementary school, though. You've forgotten since then.
It's an ancient art.
House of the Scorpion, man, that shit really fucked up a lot of people. Fucked me up, too. I've seen a lot of people reference
I remember hearing about it in elementary school.
Yeah. So it's about a cartel boss who grows his own, like, human organ harvesting children in a facility. And one of the children, this is a very classic story, right? One of the children discovers that he's a fucking blood bag and escapes. It's fucking great. It's just great. It's a really, really good version of that story that people are now bringing up again and again because there are billionaires now trying to do this for real.
Yeah. No, that happened to me once.
And not even trying to hide it.
Yeah, totally.
They probably wouldn't want your organs. I mean, those are absolutely thrash.
No. That totally happened to me when I was like a kid, Like, I went to Catholic school, so, basically we're all organ donors there.
Yeah, the Pope just cruises around picking out children. That's what they did with those kids. Wow. Damn, that's crazy. You have to, like, rethink some things. Anyway... She is Beautiful is great. Go read that manga. Jun Isaka wrote these stories. For the One Piece Day, they decided to animate one of them. And they did not give it an actual title, so it's just called One Piece Heroine.
Which, honestly, kind of false advertising. When you talk about heroin and pirates, you think of other stuff. You think of something else.
When I hear the word heroin, I just think about Punk Rock Princess. That's where my brain goes. This is directed by Haruka Kamatani, who has done some work around various smaller projects. She did do a piece of the first Slam Dunk, one of the Slam Dunk movies.
Okay.
Recently, which is probably as big as you can get as a assistant director. Mm-hmm. It's pretty fucking great.
Now I remember that the first Slam Dunk, the movie called that, not the first Slam Dunk movie.
The first Slam Dunk, the one from a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was huge in Japanese box offices when it was out.
Yeah, massive. And she's rolled straight into her own One Piece short story, and this is short. It's like 25 minutes.
So like an episode, basically.
Yeah, basically a little spin-off episode. and it looks great. It does not look like regular One Piece. It has a totally visually distinct identity, which is fantastic. Just like One Piece fan letters was completely doing its own thing, though I had my suspicions that maybe the One Piece fan letters was kind of like putting out feelers for what this Cloverworks One Piece reboot is going to look like.
That's what I felt too. You know,
yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. I'm excited for that Cloverworks abbreviated series. I think that's going to be I think I'll watch that. I think I will genuinely give that a try and go through there, and then if I'm like hooked by the end of that, I'll go into the manga.
The thing is, I don't think it's not even going to be able to catch up to where the live action show is. Like, and that is such a, like I've said before, you know, when we talked about the live action show, like, One Piece doesn't even kick in, you know, until 3 or 4 arcs.
Well,
you know,
I
3
don't
or
know.
4 islands.
Did you see those leaked episode like plot descriptions that came out a while ago that I saw floating around online?
Not.
So if they were to go, if they're anything to go by, which nothing is confirmed, this is just something I saw online. But
life is uncertain.
Yeah, life
could die at any moment.
It seemed to indicate that when they say that they're like doing an abbreviated version of the story, they're really, really abbreviating it. Because it was saying that the entire like first arc with introducing Buggy and the town and all that and the characters is going to be one like 45 to 50 minute episode.
50-minute episode?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's long.
Yeah, it's not so much like a full series. Is they're going to be doing like OVA length like episodes of each of these kind of like arc chunks, trying to really move it along to catch up.
That is so insane.
I'm only telling you what I heard, man.
Wow. That is fucking crazy. I hope that is what it is, because that is so insane.
Yeah, no, it sounds weird.
Okay. Anyway, this is very far from that, because like I said, this has nothing to do with anything.
Uh-huh.
This is like a One Piece, like trying to like, you know, go full like feminist girl boss. Like, you know, the women are empowered and they get to do stuff too. Like, they're active members of the crew. Don't forget that. Like, even though Nami like has been completely left behind by everybody else who has godlike superpowers, and she has a staff that she has. But that's okay, because she like does other stuff too, but we don't really see that stuff anymore. Yeah. Even though the navigation is now done by a little magnetic like compass that does the whole job for her.
Well, she gets to hold the compass, right?
Sometimes. Sometimes. You know, occasionally. Her and Usopp, even Usopp, this is the thing that really, like, after the time skip, even Usopp comes back and he's like, he's got shit going on, and it's like, oh man, this sucks. This is really bad. This is really bad for Nami. This is looking really tough. So she gets a little time to shine here. And in her, like, you know, like bad bitch girl boss mode, she gets a narrative that is about, buying shoes. This is a women be empowered story about women be shopping. This is a feministy take on the women be shopping, but it's a pirate now.
Women be shopping,
when she's
but that's a good thing, Lee. Yeah, feministly.
women be feministly shopping. Yeah, bitch, girl boss. And you know, she also does like a catwalk. You know, it's part of this. You know, because she fights with her beauty.
Oh. Oh.
The story of this thing is very simple. Like, during a completely unexplained raid on the Sunny, a bunch of her treasure gets stolen, and she as she's about to fight, because she fights. She's a fighter. She fights sometimes.
Yeah. She's got a quarterstaff, right? That's like her thing.
Yeah. She's got a staff, and she uses it to conjure lightning bolts, kind of.
Sometimes.
She's got like the CIA weather pattern control powers, kind of, and they work sometimes.
Okay. All right.
But she doesn't use them in this narrative, because when she's about to fight the pirates that have stolen her priceless treasures, the heel on her shoe snaps.
Oh no.
Yeah, her high heels break, which render her unable to fight.
Well, she could take them off.
She does, but it's too late.
Okay.
So she be going shopping.
Yep.
To the essentially the Louboutin shop where she got these red heels, the red bottom heels, and she demands a fix, and the guy who works there is kind of like a weird chauvinist fashion designer who recruits her to like do modeling. And in the course of this, she like empowers his young female assistant who feels underappreciated in the atelier, the shoe atelier. And during this thing, like, Robin gets hooked in here because she likes killing people, and it's like pretty cool that she does that. And they do fashion show girl boss shit, and eventually, by sheer circumstance, they find all the treasure, and she empowers the shoe making lady. It's all very feministly women be shopping type shit. And she gets heels that she can fight in, which is great. It's like fantastic. Go Nami.
Okay. All right. We gotta. All right. Do we know
wild.
the author of the light novels? Do we know if they identify as a man or a woman?
Jun Isaka?
Yeah.
I don't know much about Jun Isaka except they wrote that manga I really like.
Because, I don't want to cast aspersions here, but this sounds very much like a green text meme of what a man badly writing about women would sound like, right? And I can't tell the level of okay, the internet has completely poisoned my ability to sense sincerity in any capacity. I can't tell how sincere this story is trying to be about this premise, because it is, on paper, what you just described to me is patently comical. It's funny. It would be, let me rephrase that. It would be kind of funny if you did it intentionally, but it is bizarre if it is trying to be this sincerely. What's going on here?
I really don't. It really caught me by surprise, I have to say. I don't think there is any malice involved. I think that it is a very sincere work. And I think the idea is trying to capture something that is uniquely Nami. And their read of that character is a woman who's deeply involved in her pair of shoes she wears.
This has me genuinely interested in looking up the history of feminist movements in Japanese society, because it's baffling. It's baffling that this is where we've landed in what passes for a feminist girl focused special for One Piece. They go shopping and they find heels.
I'm sorry, I said, this is really not what I was expecting here in the Nami empowerment story. I don't, putting aside the bafflement at, the subject matter here, I think it is fine. It's very well animated. I really like the animation. It takes a very unique swing at these characters. The animation's great. The story, once you put aside maybe what the fuck is happening, I think the story is fine. It's like perfectly encapsulated. It's entertaining, and nothing seems like super out of character. You know, Robin gets to crack some people's necks and, you know,
That is cool.
pick up some kills. Yeah, it's neat. I think it's cool.
Okay.
It's short, so even if you don't like it, I think you can kind of like just blaze through it.
Now, let me ask you a final question then. Does it pass the Bechdel test?
Well, yeah, because they talk about shoes.
Well, then, I don't see a problem. It sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, that's really it, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the heart of it. That's really the heart of it.
That is the heart of it.
Yeah.
That is the heart of it. Yeah, so what a strange thing. I'm not sure what else to say. It's better than a lot of One Piece spin-off material, but it's also strange. It's
Which,
super
prepare
weird.
to see a lot more of that as we move into production of season 3.
I guess, it's just like, man, it's if you are somebody who is like thinking about where Nami came from, the whole Fishman Island arc, like what her whole deal was when she had like aspirations and like a real solid role in this crew, and now he bringing your Nami fandom up to speed with everything that's happened. It's tough. It's tough, man.
All right, let's keep rolling. What else you got? Enough about One Piece.
Okay, I've got to let's keep the feminist girl boss energy going, because I finally got around to something that has been sitting around on the shelf for way too long. I'm sure you remember me talking about Virgin Punk,
Yeah.
Clockwork Girl.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yes. Made by the very controversial Yasuomi Umetsu.
You
know.
I remember less about the author. Maybe I blocked him out for good reason.
This is the guy who is most famous probably for Kite.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Mezzoforte. Various works that needed heavy editing before they could be released to a general public.
Right. No, I do know who you're talking about now. You could have just said the Mezzoforte guy. I would have known. I would have known much sooner.
Yeah, sure. He's done a lot of work on other people's stuff. I guess they kind of like didn't want to give this dude back control. He did make another thing that I've never seen called Wizard Barristers, which I've literally did not know existed until like the second I Googled him recently.
I think maybe that might be a really bad title. Wizard Barristers.
It's about lawyers who do wizards. It's about
wizards who are lawyers. Like I got it. I know what a barrister is.
No, it's about lawyers for wizards. Like they represent wizards.
I see. I mean, shouldn't the wizard lawyers be able to do magic, themselves, just so that they have a baseline level of knowledge on this type of stuff that they're representing? I don't know. We don't have to get into that now.
You can bring in expert witnesses. In fact, it makes you look more impartial that way.
I see.
We don't have to get into the legal strategy of wizards. Because I didn't watch that one. I watched Virgin Punk, Clockwork Girl. And I thought this was a movie, but it's actually an interesting, because all three of besides One Piece Heroines, which is huge and a big thing and a spinoff, this lines up with three things I watched. The first being False Memory, in that these were smaller works created sort of independently that were trying to explode into like a bigger thing. So Virgin Punk, despite what you might have heard, is actually kind of a pitch. It is a fully developed, like professionally made, well, I can't say film because it does not meet the actual runtime requirements of a film. It is not a feature film.
No.
It's more of a long short.
Yeah, well, what you're describing is the classic, all of like the 80s and early 90s kind of OVA boom That's all basically what a lot of those things were either pitches for an animated, like a larger animated series, like with Gunsmith Cats. That is a whole manga behind it, like a very famous long running manga. But they only made the two.
A lot of those have manga.
Yeah, but there were a few in there that were also
difference.
just straight up pitches for, anime original series that never got picked up. But
that's true.
Yeah, this is a long standing industry kind of tactic when you're trying to drum up interest for a project that you wanna really invest in. This is almost like a Hail Mary move, putting all your eggs in this basket in the hopes that they'll give you money to make a full series.
Well, what's interesting is this is done by Studio Shaft. I must have done picked up the heavy lifting after he had already been pitching it and done some work on it. Because like I said, this is fully animated and it looks really good. The dude is good at his job.
Does it have Sakuga, as the kids say?
There are definitely some moments. Now, it's a little hampered by only being 35 minutes, 40 minutes,
yeah.
And clearly being like they took out massive chunks of this to kind of compress it, so you got a better sense of what the extended series, perhaps, or full movie version of this might be.
Well, they had to take out all the porn scenes.
No, they left those in. Don't worry. They left those in. But it is, you will be interested to know that Studio Shaft's next project is Fool Night.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
They finished this up and they started working on Fool Night, like, immediately. And since this thing looks fucking great, and, it's being directed by one of the most veteran guys in the industry, so, take that as you will. But Virgin Punk looks fucking great. And it looks like great in that way that, like, our horrible nostalgia poisoned brains think of, like, the golden age great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, he's a guy who clearly was, like, working more in the Mamoru Oshii side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing is, like, super weird and cool. He's clearly taking it, like, a lot more seriously, I think, than Mezzoforte or Kite. Not that he didn't take those seriously, but, like, come on. It's like, there's a lot of porn in that shit. He still manages to sneak in some nudity in here, but it's like a full serious work. The nudity is, like, part of the plot line because this is part of this, like, very, like, post-humanism, like, cyberpunky movement that's happening right now. It's really interesting that this came out in tandem with Ghost in the Shell, because this is sort of the anti-Ghost in the Shell in a lot of really interesting ways. Because Clockwork Girl, I mean, you could probably put that together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Clockwork Girl is about a woman who becomes a bounty hunter in this horrible, like, sort of, let's say post-cyborg boom world where everybody's got, fake bodies and shit. And she is, due to complicated childhood circumstances, she has become a very jaded bounty hunter who is pretty fucking good at her job. She has, like, a cool ass, like, I don't know, like, chakra boomerang blade thing that she uses to, like, fully decapitate her targets.
That is pretty cool.
Because you only need their heads.
She's not one of those, like, Blade Runner cops, is she?
No, she's straight up a bounty hunter. She's
okay.
Like, she's in it for cash.
All right.
Yeah, she's not a cop. Very specifically not a cop.
Does she come into conflict with cops, I assume, then?
No, this world's pretty hands-off when it comes to the cyborgs. Cops get obliterated by these guys, so they kind of leave it up to bounty hunters to deal with this shit. There's a couple scenes where cops do literally just get obliterated by, like, missiles and shit.
Okay, well, that is pretty good. That is pretty funny.
Yeah, now here's the rub here. A really horrible freak dude, very explicitly like an evil pedophile guy, happens to, just by coincidence, capture a bounty, obliterate a dude bounty at the orphanage that she's growing up in. And he becomes unfortunately obsessed with her when she's 14. Then we cut to when she's like 23, and she's due to this horrible thing, she's become a bounty hunter herself and is living a horrible subsistence lifestyle as a jaded bounty hunter. When she, unfortunately, due to some really bizarrely naive moves, gets totally fucking flatlined by the same freak pedophile, like in her own apartment. She wakes up a year later to discover that she's had her brain put into a fully fucking cyborgized body at the control of this horrible pedophile. Not only that, but the body that was constructed for her is her 14-year-old body.
Yeah, I don't like any of that.
Yeah. And what I think is really interesting is that she like, this is not framed as like, you know, what would maybe be in some other anime. It was like, okay, well, whatever. This is the starting point of the, like a cool fighting cyborg thing. No, this is the plot that she needs to find a way to escape from the prison of her own body, which is cool as hell.
That is okay. That's a very compelling angle to take on a cyborg story.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And actually, I see exactly what you mean now when you say it's the anti-Ghost in the Shell.
Yes, she hates being a fucking cyborg.
Well,
it is hell for her.
I mean, at that point, there's nothing that they can do to make her not be a cyborg. But I'm assuming what she hates. A good percentage is the fact that she is in a like weird sexualized 14-year-old version of her own body that's a cyborg, which is fucked up, like super fucked up.
Well, then is being controlled very specifically, like psychologically and physically, due to the way cyborgs work by this horrible freak who is obsessed with her. But it's more than that. They make it very clear that, like, this is not a world where, like, getting your robot arm is, like, a hell yeah moment. They make it very clear that a lot of people don't want cyborg parts because there's huge downsides to it. We very specifically get a scene where, like, a kid is, like, super fucked up because he wanted to be a baseball player, but he got his leg blown off, and they replaced it without asking him. They replaced it with a cyborg leg. And he can't, like, the leg doesn't feel pain, you know, and it's like made out of metal, and he can't play baseball with it. And the first thing he does is he tries to destroy it with a baseball bat because he's so upset about it. So the movie is framing the cyborg body not in the traditional, oh, fuck yeah, now I'm a superhuman. It is framing it as these things are like, there's serious actual concerns, like physical, mental, emotional concerns to becoming a cyborg. And in a lot of other cyborg works, contemporary cyborg works, you know, the big bad is the cyber psychosis, right? Is like, you might forget that you're human. But the pain point here is not that you'll forget that you're human. It's that you remember that you're human, and that conflicts with the fact that your body isn't.
Yeah.
Like, that's what sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You remember what it was like to have flesh, and now you don't. And that's not cool. Like, that's not a good thing. You know, it's like in some cyberpunk works where it is explained to people that, like, you know, the original Trailblazer people who were put in cyborg bodies that couldn't feel pain or, like, taste food or breathe, even though that's an unnecessary things for a cyborg body, went insane, right?
Yeah.
Because the mind couldn't keep up with that. It is more in line with, like, that kind of thing. Except it is also without going into the spiritual realm, right? We there's no talk of ghosts here or souls, right? It is about the spirit of the flesh. Like, that is the biological is something to be missed, and is now the premium rather than something to shed to become more human than human, right?
Yeah. Well, to use an old phrase.
Yeah. Which is, it's fucking cool. It's cool as hell. it's a really great framing in a time where we're getting more and more like cyborg action shit.
Yeah. It's like, I can see why people are concerned for it, though. And I know you mentioned that there's nudity and it serves an actual function within the plot. But, like, at the same time, I don't know if people have actually seen the unedited versions of Kite or Mezzoforte. But I can tell you straight up that a lot of the stuff that they cut did not serve a serviceable plot function to be there.
And when you close your eyes, you can intimately describe exactly what those scenes are like. Yeah.
Hey, listen,
burned into your retinas.
I was 14 in the early 2000s. All right.
Yeah, I would say but that's like what I was trying to say earlier, is that this is
This is
much more interesting and thoughtful. This is when the Major is naked in the first 5 minutes of Ghost in the Shell, right? We are reminding we are trying to keep the audience in the forefront of their minds what a human body is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what it does. It's like somebody pointed out to me recently when I was listening to people talk about The Matrix again, and they were bringing up the big pivotal point of The Matrix at the end when Morpheus is being tortured by the agents. You remember?
Yeah.
And he is like sweaty and bleeding and gross and like frothing at the mouth, and it's perfectly juxtaposed to the agents who are clean and sterile
and imposing. He's sitting down and they're all like standing around him.
Yes, and he is, and he is a black man and they are white men as well. You don't forget about that part. But and the point being, right, that they make in The Matrix over and over again as well, especially that line about Agent Smith saying that he can smell humans.
Yeah.
Which is a great line. Is that like the human body is like gross and weird, and like that's cool. That's part of being human, right?
Yeah.
Is that stuff that we have? And I think that's being deployed here as well. And that was what was being deployed in Ghost in the Shell as well. That's, people can be like, why was she naked? And the reason she's naked is because it's about human bodies. It's about the way bodies move and look and are, right?
Well,
that's flesh.
I think that you can't really avoid that point that the movie's trying to make, because even, before that first 5 minutes of the actual movie, the intro credit sequence is us seeing that robot body being fabricated in real time, and we see the skeleton getting made, and we see like the cyber flesh getting layered onto it. Like, it's pretty in your face. Like, all right, we're setting a tone. This is what this world thinks of bodies. Like, we're not being squeamish about nudity. It's something else now.
Well, yeah, I think that's a great thing to contrast against the Morpheus torture scene too, because that building, that body is sterile, like both literally and metaphorically, right?
Yeah.
In that scene, it's like in a tank. It is being created by robotic, like manufacturing arms. It's being spun by like fake biological material, right? All that stuff and creating a thing that looks human but is not. And so when nudity is deployed in Virgin Punk, Clockwork Girl, it is being used very similarly in that we are trying to be reminded that even though her body has been stolen from her, she is still human, and that we need to be thinking about that.
Yeah. That's
which
cool.
is good.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and like in Ghost in the Shell too, like it's not escaping the fucking it's not beating the exploitation charges, right?
Uh-huh.
When we see the Major naked, we're still seeing like a hot cyborg naked body. You're not getting around that, and that's the same here. I'm not trying to defend that aspect of it. But what I am saying is that it absolutely 100% serves a narrative point. It has a purpose here,
I think
which feels way more interesting than the way that nudity is deployed in his previous works.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's funny that you're contrasting it to the Mamoru Oshii Ghost in the Shell, when it's also a very weird and fun comparison to the manga / current Science Saru Ghost in the Shell interpretation of that concept, where Masamune Shiro's art, let's say in certain areas, is actually, yes, the point with this chapter was in fact just to show you a sexy cyborg body. There's no philosophical aspersion behind it, or motivation behind it. I just wanted to draw the major having sex in this scene.
Yeah. Which I think is fine, because whether he thinks about it or not, Shiro is drawing our attention to cyborg bodies. And, those scenes, like, we've made fun of a bunch of times about the editor footnote.
Yeah.
About how they all have to have gay sex or they'll explode. Their brains will melt. He is still reminding us that even in a fully cyborgized body, there is human stuff happening. They're still getting gross.
Yeah.
They're getting these, even though she is like a cyborg body, she is mostly robot. She's still getting sticky.
Well, also,
she still gets sticky.
The interesting thing about the major is that she is unique in that story, in that there are not many people who have a fully cyborg body like she does.
Yeah.
That's like kind of her thing, which is why you do get like that weird, there are scenes of that weird cross wiring going on when she's communicating, remotely with people who are still, mostly human, like Bato on her team. Yeah. And they both get that like, weird humans are gross kind of feeling when that interaction is happening between a fully robot body and only like a partially modified human one. I think that's very cool.
Yes. It is very cool. And it's also, with the Matrix comparison, it puts them closer to the agents than it does to Neo.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
which is interesting. It's just I don't know what to make of that really, but it is interesting to think about. I mean, it's also that they're cops and the agents are cops. So I don't know, another thing to think about. I don't know. But yeah, this thing like kind of fucking rocks. It's like really cool and weird, and it's also weird that it is being presented as a part one, a 40-minute part one of a thing that feels really truncated as more of a sales pitch.
Right.
Even though it is cool, it also feels very much like a proof of concept, like an incredibly overdone, over-polished vertical slice proof of concept than it does like a fully realized movie narratively.
Well, that goes back to what I was saying before, is that stuff like this, this kind of reads as a like, all right, let's put our best foot forward, and hopefully this is going to get picked up for something more. Even if it's not this, maybe someone will pick up us as a team to work on a different project. This is a resume fluffer, and not that that's not a trying to put this down. I haven't seen it yet. I watched the trailer while we were talking here, and it looks great. Like visually, it looks stunning.
It looks great. There are sequences here when you're like, oh yeah, this is a dude who knows what the fuck he wants and is just going for it.
Yeah. Which I think is great. I love it when stuff like that happens, even if it doesn't get picked up for a wider series, we still got something, a little nugget to hold on to. That's cool.
Yeah. And also the reason that like Kite and Mezzoforte are completely notorious is because that despite the like censored versions, like heavily reducing all of the animation and creating that weird like international market problem, people still saw the animation in that and went like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
This dude is like, he's like doing doing the thing. He's like actually doing the thing.
I mean, I don't think
And if
I've
he had
ever
given-
seen like a YouTube reel of animation highlights that doesn't include the bathroom animation scene from Mezzoforte.
If people are doing anime music videos, they're putting fucking Kite in there.
Yeah,
and shit,
yeah,
you
for
know?
real.
They're putting that shit in there. And, you know, it may be in some, like, weird alternate dimension if, like, a different fork in the path had revealed itself. He would be up there with, you know, the Mamoru Oshis, right? The Hosodas, the Shinkais.
Yeah. Well, maybe not the Shinkais.
Well, hey, we never know. But, you know, if this kind of thing got, like, actually made and pushed out, I think this would be, like, blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like one of those things where, like, will anyone ever make more of this? I don't know. Who fucking knows?
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining, like, who's the American, like, that guy could have been Disney. He could have been the next Disney if he would have just stopped drawing porn of all of his characters.
It's Don Bluth.
Of course it's Don Bluth.
Of course it's Don Bluth. Of course it is. He really made an effort. I don't know. He tried.
He tried. All right. You got anything else?
He tried. Yeah, let's wrap it up. This is the third in this series of like weird kind of indie things that are trying to launch themselves despite like no backing, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a little bit. So this one was sort of produced by Aniplex and distributed by Aniplex, sort of. I watched Cencoroll and Cencoroll Connect, even though Cencoroll Connect is just Cencoroll plus part 2 smushed together into something that is sort of more of like a movie.
Okay.
They bill it as an episode 1 and episode 2. Despite episode, quote unquote, episode 1 of Cencoroll coming out in 2009, written, designed, directed, animated by Atsuya Uki, a manga artist, which is like kind of really crazy. Dude who just like did some manga stuff and then was like, I'm just gonna like make an entire fucking anime movie by myself.
I mean, you don't see it happen. Yeah, it's like the famous one is oh shit, I'm blanking on the name of the Akira author, but like
Katsuhiro Otomo.
Yes, Otomo, thank you. Otomo did Akira, and then like halfway through doing Akira, he's like, I want to make Akira a movie. And then he just did that and then went back and finished the manga.
Well, I have to say specifically about Otomo, he wanted to make movies more than he wanted to make manga and anime. Like he shot live action movies before he was interested in drawing.
Oh, that's cool.
That was a dude
who
who was like a movie. Yeah, he was a movie guy, and then he was like, well, I guess I can draw. I'll just draw this shit. Fuck it. It's weird that he was like, oh, I guess I'll just do the most legendary shit ever.
Okay.
I'll just do that instead.
Okay, so why do our media personalities always like when they crash out of a Hollywood job like that, they always become right-wing media like grifters? Why can't they go on to just make awesome sci-fi epics every time?
I don't know. I really don't know. You know, I'm trying to think of an example over here where like, I don't know, maybe like a front man for a rock band ended up making like a great movie, but I could think of some that were bad movies.
Yeah, no, I can think of a lot of bad ones.
I think a lot. I think a lot about Flying Lotus, who is a fucking fantastic producer, and then has gone on to make these very strange sci-fi projects, none of which have ever really landed. Not that I've hated them, but none of them have really like, you know, broken anyone's brains or anything. But he keeps trying, so I mean, good for him. Flylo's cool. You know, Godspeed. Anyway, this guy put out a quote unquote episode 1 called Cencoroll back in 2009, and he said, this is episode 1. It, you know, premiered in Canada, I guess, at a international film festival, even though he said it was an episode. Liar. And then 10 years later, he put out Cencoroll Connect, which is part 1 and part 2 pushed together, right?
Okay.
So a 10-year gap between episode 1 and episode 2. This is already longer than the proof of concept on False Memory and proof of concept episode 1 for False Memory, right? So he's got them beat.
I'm trying to think.
Will there be an episode through? Who knows? We'll wait,
we're still waiting to hear on that one.
Only a few years. We're only a few years away from 2029.
Oh, shit, you're right. I just had to look down. Oh, man.
Oh, my hands.
My hands. So,
the back of my hands.
You literally was not hitting me that 2019 was like 7 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know. It's horrible.
Okay. All right.
It sucks so bad.
So what's going on? Did you watch Cencoroll Connect? Is that what you did?
I watched Cencoroll, and then I watched Cencoroll Connect, not knowing that was 1 and 2 just smushed together.
All right.
Which is fine, because the Cencoroll Connect version was cleaned up a little bit.
It sounds like one movie that he just ran out of steam halfway through and released like that. He's like, all right, here's part 1. And then picked it up, or was at least working on it for the next 10 years to get part 2 out. It doesn't sound like it was developed as a episode 1 and 2 situation.
I really don't know. I can't really track down whether there was intention. I know that Aniplex had decided to back the project and they considered it a film. So not really sure what happened, but they were like, I don't know, maybe we'll let a guy single-handedly create his own anime, like, by himself. That sounds funny. It sounds like a funny prank to lure a guy into doing that for 10 years. But Cencoroll is really cool. If we just ignore the idea that maybe there's be more at some point, if we just view it as like, this hour 15 long movie, it's really great. The animation is really charming. The story is really fun. It's super subdued. It's about a near future world where there are just these strange creatures, and each one kind of bonds with a person, and they like battle for some reason.
Okay, so what?
Supposedly to like eat each other,
like Digimon.
Yeah, but like, what if Digimon was super low key and you kind of just like didn't ever want to run into another guy with a Digimon? You were just kind of like trying to be chill about it. And then somebody would show up and be like, I'm going to kill you and my creature is going to eat your creature.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Digimon gets pretty dark in some places, but yeah, I see what you mean.
It's
I don't know. It sounds like the idea that I had.
Those are digital monsters.
When I was like 12, and I'm like, man, it would be cooler if Digimon didn't have to like shout out their move names. Like, what if they just fought each other? It sounded like that.
And it is cool. Actually, it turns out
that was a good idea?
It is.
I nailed that one?
No, that is good. It's like, that was what you were right.
Okay,
it's actually
yes.
cooler
All right,
that way.
cool.
Yeah. So our main character has his little dude is named Senko, hence the title. And they kind of just like chill, like kind of roll around. He's pretty aloof for some reason. We don't really know why. It's not really a finished movie. His Senko has the ability to transform its shape.
Useful ability,
which is very useful. Yeah. He uses it to turn into a 97 Honda Civic Si to drive around, which is cool as hell. That's what I would do.
That is pretty dope. Now, is it covered in fur? Does it look like the creature?
No, it looks exactly like a Honda Civic.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, this thing is really good.
Okay.
What's also it's really cool too, because when it's also just a creature, the creatures carry their bonded human like in their mouths, so they're constantly being sucked up by the creatures and then just riding around inside the mouth, which is great. Very cool.
I like that. That's fun.
They're just like in there. It's like gross.
Well, it's the safest spot.
It is, it's gross and weird, but it's also cool. Because our main guy gets into a fight. Our first taste of like what is happening in this world is a guy just appears and pops out of his weird monster. And it turns out his weird monster has optical camouflage. He just rides around in its mouth while it's invisible.
And that kind of makes
and
him
does
invisible.
like creep shit. He's totally invisible. He's 100% invisible when he's in its mouth. And all of the animation is super weird and cool. The animation, I guess, because it's all done by this one guy. The animation and the tone of the narrative matches up really well. Having a creature that can like transform its shape at all times in the narrative gives him the ability to like flex super hard when it comes to like unique animation, right?
Well, yeah.
It's a really good opportunity.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you can animate if you can animate it, why not put it in there? Make it look cool.
Yeah. Well, if you give a guy 15 years, he can make 30 minutes of animation.
By himself.
And it's great. It's like really unique and creative, and it's like it's just fun and strange. It feels a little harsh to watch the whole thing and then get to the end and be like, hey, and maybe we'll make some more of this. Kind of like in Virgin Punk's case. Little less bittersweet with False Memory because they did. They did the fucking thing.
They went out there and did
They
it.
got picked up and they're doing it.
Well, I mean,
in these two cases,
and I've watched the first episode of False Memory so far, and it's like, man, I'm glad that they got picked up.
They fucking did it.
They did it, man.
They fucking did it. Holy shit, that shit rules,
so
dude.
Cool.
It fucking so good. Oh my god. I gotta check when the next episode of that comes out. I haven't looked yet. Damn, I'm so happy.
What if it's the same situation and we're
Memory.
just left with these 3 episodes for 15 years?
That would be a real bummer, but at least we have 3 episodes with the promise of more.
Mm-hmm.
And those 3 episodes are really good. They're really fucking good, dude. Oh, shit. Yeah, this is a really strange thing. Like another one of these like indie productions that is looking more and more impressive than actual fully produced anime. It sucks to say that because again, this guy had like 15 years to do this, but it was also, this guy took 15 years and made about an hour and 10 minutes of an anime that looks better than 90% of the shit that's come out in the last 5 years. Just straight up.
Yeah, yes.
Just straight up.
I try not to get caught up in that type of thinking about the industry because at the end of the day, most of the stuff that they're putting out, like, they could animate it much better than they are. They could do it better. It's just a matter of will and time and effort and money. And the fact is most of these aren't meant to impress us like that. They're meant to put a product out for people to watch so that advertisers can, get ad revenue going.
They're trying to establish a baseline for the IP.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I doubt stuff like the recent whatever the most recent villainous anime has to be leveled to this
I am
level
an
of
inept
care.
villainous.
Are you making a joke title or is that actually what it's called?
It is inept villainous.
Okay, all right.
I don't remember if she self-describes that.
I am the inept.
I can't remember if she calls herself that. Let's see. Though I am an inept villainess. I was very close.
Though I am an inept villainess. What's the rest of the title?
Yes. Tale of the butterfly rat body swap in the maiden court.
God, see. Yeah, this is the kind of shit I'm talking about.
Yo, people are hyped about this one though. I for real, like people are excited about
really?
this one.
You know why?
No, I haven't read it.
Huh. Okay.
But it's getting an anime adaptation and people are excited.
Well, that's getting off track. The point is that is that we cannot expect to have every anime come out with this level of care and attention to detail put into it. It's physically unfeasible for the industry, just the way it is. Lots of people would have to suffer a lot more if we wanted that, which I'm personally willing to sign off on. I just think it's a tough sell for the majority of everyone else.
Yeah, here's the thing. We know, everybody know, I mean, this is the thing. It's like, you hate to like backseat produce, but every single person involved in any of this, from the producer to the consumer all the way through, knows that anime could immediately be better if there was less of it and it took longer to make.
Yep.
It's like, here's a golden bullet. Make less of it and take more time.
Ugh.
And guess what? I mean, a lot of these projects are already doing that. That's why they release 6 episodes and then a year later they release 6 episodes, right? That's why they're trying to do these bizarre staggered releases and come up with stupid new names for them, for these like distribution models. Oh, first core, second core. You know how much I hate that shit. Never want to say core. I never want to describe a fucking series as a core.
You just hate them appropriating a French word.
No, they should use more French words. I'm fine with that. You know, I hate when Tarantino does it.
Wow,
but
you hate when he does a lot of things. Can do it. I'm thinking more like
Tarantino does a lot of things.
The most egregious one right now is what they're doing with Steel Ball Run and releasing just one episode and then waiting to release. They haven't even confirmed that they're releasing more than episode 2 in September. By the way, I want to point that out.
I'm not 100% convinced that wasn't an accident, that somebody didn't hit the wrong button.
They accidentally released episode 1.
I kind of think that they accidentally released episode 1. Somebody hit the launch button and was like, oops, fuck.
God damn it. Who hit the deploy button on the JoJo episode? You know the rest of the series isn't ready. Oh, sorry. I just kind of bumped into it.
You're fired and we're going to kill you.
Oh, okay.
Oh man!
Well, you shouldn't have made it a physical button that people can run into. I'm just saying.
I was carrying this huge stack of frames that we don't use anymore because it's all on the computer. Yeah. And I tripped and fell.
I fell into the publish button, the one that goes right to Netflix.
You know, and it's like if they really were straight up doing like the video game thing where they're like, yeah, we need more time. We need more time in the oven. And like, cool, whatever. Sure. For JoJo, don't fuck that shit.
Don't fuck with me on this one.
Don't fuck JoJo up.
Don't fuck with JoJo.
This is the fan favorite arc too. This is like the big one. I think this is the second most popular arc after Jotaro.
Stardust Crusaders.
Yes, Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched one episode. I was very impressed by it. I thought it looked really fun.
You're like, damn, I love racing. I love horse racing now that Uma Musume is my favorite thing.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, well,
this is going to be cool.
Yeah.
How many of these horses are girls?
How many horse girls would you describe this series as having on a scale of like 100 to 1,000? Because
JoJo has very few women in it, so not a lot.
Man, I can't wait for the JoJo heroine series.
We got that. It was Jolene. We did that already.
And she didn't go shopping once.
She didn't. Yes, she did. She went at the beginning before she went to jail.
Yeah, but, then she went to jail and she learned how to be a better person. Like jails are supposed to work.
And she did go to commissary.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
We know she went to commissary a few times. I just hate this. I hate the core thing, kind of trying to wriggle your way around just saying it's shorter seasons and longer times between them. Just like if you could just say that. I know it's all marketing. Can you please cut the shit? Like, can we please be just straight up with this? Well, and please.
Like, why can't we be honest about it? Because in some cases, it is actually really working well for things. Like, I would prefer for them to release 12 episodes of Witch Hat Atelier that look really good and have to wait 2 years for the, second half of the first season. If they just say that, I'm fine with that. If they just said, all right, here's part 1, it took us this long, and in 2 to 3 years we'll have part 2, but it will look this good, then yeah, I'm fine with that. It sucks. But I'm fine with it.
What if they switched the actual distribution model for a show like that and just released 1 episode a month?
Yeah, I don't think they could even meet that demand. I think it takes way more than a month to animate a single episode like this.
No, I'm not saying that you animate in real time. I'm just saying once you have your set of 12 episodes, show 1 episode a month. And then the difference between 2 years feels way less.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that could work out.
Yeah.
All right, well, gotta be home on the 24th. That's Ghost in the Shell Day,
Yeah. And then, when you put out 2 episodes in a month because you got a little ahead of schedule, everyone's like, holy shit, we're blessed. This is a blessed month.
Maybe we should do that for the next episode of this podcast. All right, we're not going to do it for 4 years, but when we come back, it's going to be the best anime podcast you've ever heard.
Well, it's already the only anime podcast, so I'm not sure how much better we could get.
Oh, he's got me there.
We could do 1 monthly episode where we record for 4 or 5 hours.
That is, I listen to several other podcasts that do it that format. And while I'm not against it, as a format, I feel like that would be grueling to record for 4 to 5 hours and then to have to to edit that down. I don't know. I guess that would be up to you, but it feels excessive. I think
no, that sucks shit.
I think that we should do shorter episodes of higher quality.
That's not possible. We could do shorter episodes. Higher quality than this? Man, I don't know, man. If we did 1 episode a day, that was 15 minutes.
Yeah. Let's pare it down to 2 episodes a day, but they're 30 seconds each. But they're really good.
2 episodes a day. I could do a 5-minute. I could do a 5-minute.
Yeah. You could do a 5-minute a day.
Yeah, I would say a 10-minute episode per day would actually not be that hard, and we would just pick 1 manga or anime,
one thing
episode of an anime to talk about.
Yeah. But we'd have to talk about it really fast.
We'd talk about it really fast. We would have no time to banter like this, we're doing.
Give
right
you the
now.
quality bants that we got going on.
Yeah, you'd have to cut out all the stupid shit, which would bring it less than 10 minutes. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that would be a problem.
Well, speaking of time, I think we're running on at this point. Unless you have anything else you want to bring up.
I read some super weird shit, man, that I wanted to talk about, but we won't do it now.
Okay.
I'm saying, holy shit, man, I read some weird ass shit.
I want to hear about it. Next time on
man.
Anime Death Spiral.
The weird shit. We're going to talk about
the weird shit. All right.
Next episode, we're going to fucking, let's just put it down. Next episode, let's do a child soldier episode. I really want to talk about it.
You keep threatening that. You keep threatening it. All right,
let's do it next episode in conjunction with the new Gundam release.
All right, okay, we can do that. All right, Get ready for a really nice, light, kind of breezy, upbeat episode next time about child soldiering. Man.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about World War II. It's gonna be great. It's gonna rule. Tune in next time for more war crimes.
Okay. All right. Call to action stuff. Go download, leave us comments.
Do
all that stuff. We will be back with you next week. In the meantime, go watch False Memory.
Watch False Memory. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Check out Cencoroll Connect. Go do all that
good
stuff. And then
watch Clockwork Girl. Yeah. Watch Virgin Punk. It's good.
All right, beautiful, tall, handsome listeners. Until next time, bye.
Filet-O-Fish.